Alright, this week we are at IRP, or Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, or LORP for short. LORP for the LARPers, I guess, since that's what we're doing. This is a live action roleplay video game. But yeah, so real quick, this will be the hot lap. This is the out lap's going to be, hot lap's going to be on the second lap here. This is just getting the tires warm. So we'll watch the hot lap first, and then we'll break it down, and then we'll talk about kind of long run stuff. So grab the wall there. Here's the hot lap. Okay, and that's going to give us a 21.640. That should be pretty quick. I set this test session up for sunset with a warm track, so we should see those conditions in the race too. So this lap time should apply. Let's go back here and we'll break this lap down real quick. All right, so try to get a good run up at the top and then coming all the way down to the bottom seam, make the straightaway long as possible. And then here, I ran a little bit lower of a line, but you want to put your left tires on the seam. I went a little low on purpose, and it actually saved me a little bit of time compared to running a slightly higher, like half lane up. So this is just a little bit faster here. Do have to be careful though, being on the throttle. Um, we're 35% brake going in here to get the car slowed down. Brake bias is at 70%. That's what a lot of people are running. I did watch some older races, and that's also what a lot of people were running for those. So we're going in, we're just aiming. Trail brake, run a few laps, see what's comfortable, but we're going to be trail braking until we can get the car to rotate. Got the left rears below that second seam from the top. These are long turns. Transitioning back into partial throttle. Driving down to the first seam, really. There's not much banking down here. You'll see the car start, see how it stands up now. It's not as leaned into the turn. So it kind of like levels out, and now the car's got a lot of weight on its right side, so you got to be careful with partial throttle here. We're still staying at partial throttle. And then let's drive this up off. And we're straightening the wheel up and flooring it pretty much kind of one after the other. So if we just go back a little bit. So we're on partial throttle, and we're going to hit full throttle before the wheel's completely straight, but we're able to look down the straightaway, and we're going to be straightening the wheel up very soon after this. And then really it's the same thing for 3 and 4. 35%, creeping up maybe on 40% throttle there, or brake, sorry. And so we're just driving it down, putting the lefts on that second from the top seam, driving down to the white dotted line, down to the bottom seam, sorry. So really kind of identical to 1 and 2 for me. Tried to keep it low. I picked up probably about a tenth overall, maybe 7/100ths of a second by running half a lane lower and getting all the way down to that first seam compared to running it on the outside. See what works for you though. In the long runs, that was the line that people were kind of migrating to on the older races that I watched. A lot of other guys were running this exact line without hitting the wall. Some of them hit the wall. And that was the way to kind of, one, be fast and save tire, but also that was how a lot of people were making passes. They were actually going beneath other cars, even though this is kind of like a top line, or it has been a top line dominant track in the past. So just keep that in mind. We're going to see people running this kind of line, even right about here, half a lane lower. That's going to be really normal for people running this race. So it's tough to pass here. Um, it's really hard to get to somebody's outside. If you can get to their outside, you'll probably be able to pass them a little bit easier, especially at the beginning of the race. But later on in the race, I saw a lot of the faster cars in the other races that I watched. I saw a lot of the quicker cars make passes that took a few laps to complete, but they were doing it on the inside. So if you can get to somebody's outside and they're not protecting it, take it. That's my overall kind of thoughts and predictions on the race. We're going to have a lot of people running a mid to high line. It's going to be tough to pass, and just appreciate you all watching. I know this is kind of probably a quicker video than normal, and yeah, thanks for watching. Hope this helps, and I will hopefully see you all out there.